Dean, whenever possible, I like to bring you some good news, and the good news that I bring you today. I don't know. It's like I'm running or speaking in circles here. There is good news for me to bring, and the bringing of the good news that I have for you is all of a sudden I am French Buck. I am very happy for all of you. No, it's has to do with the vaccine. Trump has been saying that we got Operation Warp Speed, which whenever I hear this, I always think of that scene in Spaceballs where they go from warp speed to, I think it's ludicrous speed. Producer Mark probably hasn't even seen Spaceballs, have you?
I've heard of it. I've seen Space Jam.
Spaceballs is better. Among Rick Moranis' finest appearances on film. Not as good as Ghostbusters, but still pretty good. But, they are at Operation Warp Speed. They talk about this. And then you also you have some of the more recent news stories about the breakthroughs or at least the effective early stages of the treatment. Here's the president on the vaccine, 17.
Ultimately, our goal is not merely to manage the pandemic, but to end it. We want to get rid of it as soon as we can. That is why getting a vaccine remains a top priority. 2 vaccine candidates are entering the final stage of clinical trials this month. This was achieved in record time. It used to be years before you were in a position like we are right now. 4 other vaccines will enter final trials in the following weeks, and we're mass producing all of the top candidates so that the first approved vaccine will be available immediately. And logistically, we have the military ready to go. We have great people, logistic military people, a wonderful general who's waiting for the vaccine so they can distribute it in record time. That's what's going to happen. So our military is all set to go. We will deliver a vaccine, therapeutics, whatever it is necessary, and defeat the virus once and for all.
I think it's important to hear this. We will return to normal. This has been dragged out longer than I think almost anybody anticipated in the early days. We will return to normal. It's going to happen. I can't tell you when. In my mind, I'm ready for things not to really feel normal until next summer. That's just my gut feeling. And that doesn't mean that things aren't getting better, but I think by next summer people are going to be flying on planes and not really worry. It's just going to be, maybe some people there'll be some voluntary mask wearing will still be a part of the culture, but there's going to be a return to normalcy. That's what I see. I could be wrong. But I'm very happy when I hear about the movement on these vaccines. Here's HHS Secretary Azar talking about they've just signed a big contract to get you a whole bunch of doses by the end of the year. Play 15.
Under the president's leadership, we just signed a contract with global pharmaceutical leader Pfizer to produce 100 million doses of vaccine starting in December of this year, with an option to buy another 500 million doses. Now, those would, of course, have to be safe and effective according to the FDA's gold standard. But this now adds to what President Trump has delivered, which is 4 other vaccine candidates. We now have 5 vaccine candidates that prioritize the U.S. people, where we're going to manufacture a vaccine and work to secure FDA approval of them all at the same time.
I got to tell you, I'm really going to enjoy shaking hands. I was never that big into shaking hands before. I mean, I would shake hands, but I wasn't. I kind of miss it. I miss our old life, America. I do. I miss it a lot. I miss the sense that we all have that we can be around people. And I go through phases. I'm not somebody who's particularly into being in big crowds, but man, the things that I want to get back to are crowded live music shows, and I will not complain about being elbow to elbow with people in a stacked New York bar that is probably a violation of the fire code because so many people in it. I won't complain about that for a long time, I can assure you. And how long I have to wait for a drink and all the rest of it, I'm not going to bring any of that up. So I'm continuing and hoping to follow. I'm following this, continue following this, and hoping that we're going to get to a place where we have that vaccine real soon. Producer Mark, when things are totally normal, what's top of the list for you, buddy? Sports game?
Not even a sports game, because I can watch those on TV. I would say a concert.
Concert.
You can't recreate a concert at home.
Yeah, you can't. You cannot do that.
Well, you can, but really poorly.
Well, yeah. Producer Mark hears me sing sometimes before I come on air. We don't have to worry about that. Maybe one day we'll give you a taste of that. But I like to get him fired up by singing, call it like a fight song of sorts for producer Mark before the show. So, and producer Nick sometimes too. We get them in the mix. Anyway, a vaccine is coming. I don't know when. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it's coming. And hope is a good thing. If you've perhaps the best of things. Isn't that what he says during Shawshank, I think? Yeah.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.